Hey guys, this is Stan from Team Curse, and today I'm going to be showing you a simple mid to B take on DDoS 2. So the way this take is going to pan out is there's 4 dedicated spots on this strat. There's 3 riflers going mid, and 1 rifler upper B with the bomb. And the 5th spot will generally go to the Opper. It's going to depend on what he wants to do, if he wants to go upper B or out mid with your team. So I'll explain really quick. I'll run down the upper guys. The rifler, you should always be going around like this towards tunnels, and your job is really to just hold the upper tunnels. You just want to make sure that they don't push through tunnels, push through this little corridor right here while your guys are playing or taking mid to B and stuff like that, especially if you're by yourself and since you have the bomb. It's very essential that you just stay alive. Maybe hold like an angle here, something like that. I'd recommend hiding behind these pillars, so that way you can dodge the flashes without having to turn around. You can just dodge the flash and then peek right after, instead of having, like, for example, if you're in the open, instead of having to do a 360 and then 180 and then doing another 180 back. So that's the role of the rifler, upper B. The upper can come in here. You don't really want to give away that you're upper B, you just want to be walking the whole time while you're upper B, and you don't want to, if you're by yourself as a rifler, you don't want to peek into B with the bomb until your guys are like around the door area and window area. Once these guys are coming through the site like this and stuff like that, then you want to start putting pressure on the upper tunnels and start going into the site with them. But until then, until you see them on your radar that they're window and door, you just want to hide and make sure that there's no push. That's different if you have an Opper with you. If there's an Opper going upper B, he should be putting pressure on the B site as those guys are coming up the ramp. And the ramp, I mean this ramp. So like as these guys are running up here and throwing flashes over B, stuff like that, even before they get to the door, obviously, you want the Opper to start working his way in slowly, you know, just holding an angle here and there. And of course the rifler helping him. You don't want the rifler just to sit back here and just hide while the Opper's going in. If the Opper's holding this line, for example, you come in here and you help him, blah blah blah, watch his left. So that's the role of the upper B guys. Now, the guys mid. So the general mid to B that teams run kind of sets up like this. Like they take cat control, or you know, they have mid control. There's a smoke usually right here. Everybody will get in their positions, 2 up close mid or whatever, and usually they'll have one guy coming up cat or one guy throwing a smoke from here, and then flashing and stuff like that, flashing over. Now, of course, these flashes and smokes are really good. They're nice and fancy, you know. This one lands almost every time. It lands perfectly. There's no real gap, stuff like that. But what this does is it gives it away. Like when you're doing these smokes and stuff like that, the guy's meant to be like, if there's a guy here, he's getting ready. He's getting ready for the flashes. If there's a guy window, he's getting ready for the flashes. He knows that at any second these guys can come out and start fighting with him. If there's a guy here, you know, he's starting to play passive with a nade out or whatever, stuff like that. So that's why I don't really like giving. That's why I don't really like doing it from those spots, because you throw the smokes and then you do it and then you do the execution, and it just kind of adds a little bit of a delay. So today I'm going to show you a different way to take mid to B. So with these 3 guys, when they come up mid, they have to get really close, because these 3 guys, they're going to walk out mid. So you have to wait until there's no smoke here. Obviously, if there's a smoke, somebody threw a smoke here, you have to wait through the smoke, because if you just walk through smoke, obviously it's not going to work. So these guys are just going to wait here for the smoke. If there's no smoke, they're just going to simply walk out. Now, when they walk out, you want one guy like going around this area, like holding this route, and one guy directly going here and holding this route. And while you guys are doing this, obviously you want to clear the secret or the window here, and you want to clear a window like up to here, and you kind of want to like shoulder peek it so you don't get opt if there's an opper there. This is about as far as you want to peek from this side, and from this side, this is about as far as you want to peek from this side. The reason why is you don't want to get contact from here, and you don't want to get especially an opper from here, because they have a lot of cover there, and You know, like they can take a few shots, call it, and then fall back into cover. You can't do nothing. Whereas if there's a guy CT spawn and you come out here, he starts shooting you, blah blah blah, and he calls it, you can nade him and stuff like that, and that'll be a lot easier to kill than somebody you're trying to fight here. So that means there's just no point of even trying to fight this guy. The reason you don't want to peek past the window, like past this area here, is because they can have a guy up here, and it's really hard to spot this guy right away. So if he's here, he's almost 99% of the time going to have the first shot on you, and especially if it's an opper, it's just going to give him a really easy pick and stuff like that. So the first two guys are going to walk out. They're going to go into their roots. They're going to clear up close, make sure there's nothing up close, and it's very essential that you guys are walking this whole time. So if there is anybody in CD spawn or up close mid that you don't know about, they don't know what's happening. And it's also very essential that you go out mid together as a team, like very close. You don't want to bundle up like where you're hugging each other, but you want to be like maybe like this guy right here and you're right here, ready to. If there's a guy up close, you're ready to swing out and trade on him. Because walking out, if there is one guy up close like this, something like that, the first guy walking out almost every time is going to die. So it's going to be up to the second guy to get the trade. So you walk out, you get control, blah blah blah. There's nobody CT spawn. Let's pretend there's nobody window. And now when you get to this point, you have to make the call that, okay, we have control, and the third guy that's coming out double doors, he should be ready to throw a smoke at any second. So these guys get in position, and as soon as they get in position, smoke should be going out, and literally, after the smoke goes out, you don't really even need to flash in this game. Sometimes the best, like, especially on CT side, sometimes even like when Ts are doing a take on your site, it's just better to keep your gun out. Well, this is one of those strats where it's just better to sometimes keep your gun out, especially if they're playing a rifler mid. Now, if they're playing an opper, first of all, if they're playing an opper holding mid from B, you should have your scope coming mid with you. He shouldn't be going upper tunnels. And second of all, you should have at least one more flash. So the scope, whoever the second rifler would be going out, he should be staying back and getting ready to flash, while there's like the first rifler coming out, then the second guy being the op. And the op, if he is coming out mid, he shouldn't be the one that's doing this job, even though this seems kind of like an easy pick. This could be a rifler, can take care of this as well, and at the same time you can nade it anyways. Whereas if you're going around where you're picking this with a rifle, it's going to be a lot harder compared to an op. And you can't really get a kill compared to, like, if an op comes around here and there's a rifler right there, he's going to get a kill like almost all the time. Whereas if a rifler comes around here and there's a rifler right here, there's just going to be a little exchange. They're going to call that you guys are out mid, and you're going to call that he's window, and blah blah blah. So you just throw a smoke like this. That's really, as you come out, once you have the control of this area, once you don't want to go past like the line right here, but once you have this area all the way over here, you're ready to go. You throw that smoke, and as that smoke blooms, you want to just right away wrap the corner, throw flashes over. Now, the third guy up the ramp should always be throwing the flashes over, and then he should be watching the flank, even when your guys are running up the ramp. The reason why is a lot of people, for example, they're going to throw a flash like this, and they're going to run through. Be aware of that flash, so don't just, like, if you're the third guy, don't just throw some flashes, run up with these guys, and watch the flank like this, because you're not going to hear that flash bounce off. You want to like cover them from this area so that you hear the flash bounce off, and that so you can dodge it, and that you hear anybody going cat to mid to B to mid to here, or cat to lower B and stuff like that, so you can hear that stuff. With the smoke, it should be pretty easy to watch both of these angles. Like, you can do a lot of tricky stuff here. You know, you can play somewhere around here or something like that. You can hear the flash, and at the same time you can hear these guys cat and cut them off, or you can play around here, you know, blah blah blah, stuff like that, however you like it. But yeah, that's just the general way I like to take mid to B. Just a little change, you know, walking out mid before you do the execution, but it does make a huge difference. You do catch a lot of teams off guard. They don't expect it. They expect the smokes and flashes first, and then they expect the execution. They don't expect you guys to start like mini executing, you know, taking control of certain areas of the map and then executing. So yeah, that's just a simple mid to B. One little change, easy smoke, stuff like that. Use it or you don't. Won't make a difference. Thanks for tuning in. This is once again Stan with Team Curse, and like my other teammates have said, if you have any ideas for a video, just leave a comment, and hopefully we'll be able to do it for you. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and until next time.